Welcome back, everybody. This is Dec39toApr40 with another episode of Unconditional Surrender, designed by Salvatore Vasta, published by GMT Games. This is the East First series. We left off in... I should probably bring up all my little boxes here. Dummy, I should have done this before we got here. We left off, where did we leave off? We are starting December of 1939. The Germans have finally conquered Poland by the end of the November turn. The Russians have moved forward, and we will just go ahead and get started here. We have a weather roll coming up. And here I am correcting my mistake from earlier. I can't have the BEF in France because I'm not allowed to leave my home country. So I think this is me fixing that. And I also added a factory to the Germans because we forgot. When they conquered Poland, they got the Polish corridor. And I believe we started off with a weather die roll, and this is just us adjusting things. There's the weather. Severe, and poor. Okay. Axis declaration of war. They decided not to, because any declarations of war against anything other than Denmark would be a West invaded kind of thing, so we skipped through that. Did the economy phases here. We pretty much knew what the points were going to be, so we had kind of set them earlier before we kind of did things out of phase. Strategic movement for the Axis. I believe he moved that. Whoops. Moved that up. I don't think I had anything for the Allies. And then we went into operations phase. He moved things up to the line. Basically, he got himself poised and ready to come after me. And didn't do a whole lot here. And of course, the West didn't have anything they could really do. They played around with the French a little bit. Oh, there's the map resetting itself. That's me getting my supply down there. I think now we're going to go into the Soviet section here. I activated somebody. I decided discretion was the better part of valor. Started to retreat to more defensible positions, figuring that one of these days I was going to get stomped on. And then we kind of skipped through the no supply. The Axis didn't have anything to do in replacements. Or upgrades, mobilization. He built his garrison from the conquest of Poland over in the west. And an infantry unit. And we go into the diplomacy phase. We had reloaded the cup, hoping to get some successes for the West or the Soviets. And what we got was Axis pulled a no event. The West pulled a no event. And then the Soviets reloaded the no events back in, trying to loot the cup from the Germans. And that was that. End of turn phase. I don't think a lot goes on here. Oops, wrong card. Sorry about that. Doom, doom, doom. Okay. The Germans got, stuff, like they usually do. And we went into the next current weather phase. So now we are in going into January of 1940. They rolled a 151, which bring up the weather things. You can see things move. He gets poor, severe, and then fair in the med. Declarations of war. None. I think we're doing the production right now, resetting everybody back to where they belong. Yep. He moved an airplane up to, or did he strategically move it? I think he strategically moved the airplane up there. Since he had such horrible weather, he wasn't going to take Denmark this turn. And now we're to the operations phase. Get these things off the board. Whoops, wrong thing. Click, click. Make these go away. And it's severe over here, so move up his airplanes. He tries to make an assault. We're doing combat commitment here, but there was... Oh, yeah, because we're in poor in the... I'm across the line in the cold zone, so he could do attacks there. So we both committed. He threw in an airplane. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 2. Actually, I think he was only attacking with 1 unit. That's what his problem was. There we go. We got it set right there. We had each threw in an airplane, so there was an air combat that came in. And that air combat was drastically in my favor. Where did it go? Since he rolled a 2 and I had a 3, so we took a sortie there. And then he had a net of 5 and I had a net of 5, so nothing happened in that combat. Then the second Panzer moved up. He tried to do his attack on the city. So I think we went back to we had another air combat here. Did we? Yeah, we were doing commitment, which we both committed. So he went down to a 0. I was at a minus 2. Or no, he's actually a minus 2, not a minus 1. I did that wrong. Or no, he used the one that only had 1 sortie on it. He rolled a 2. I rolled a net 0, so it became a 1 each. So we each took a sortie. Both our airplanes got in. And he got a 7, and I got a 7. So my tanks and airplanes held off his initial offensive here in January of 1940. The British did their supply thing. Operations phase for the Soviets. Don't think I did a thing. I think I just sat there. Said, you haven't broke me yet. I wasn't going to run. So the Axis go ahead and get their airplanes down to 0 sorties. Flipped over his infantry unit. UK replenished its fleet. The Soviets replenished their airplanes. There's no upgrades. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm going to take a quick look at the faction card. Oh, I think he's building his airplane. That's right. So he's building his airplane. He has to put 4 sorties on it. He builds his infantry there up in Königsberg. So Russian army is coming. The West didn't have anything. Soviets didn't have anything. We go to the diplomacy phase. Again, the cup's pretty well stocked. Axis pulled a pro-Axis marker. And if you look at the map, he had a choice here. He could have activated Italy right away. And he didn't want to give me the Mediterranean event right away, so Italy didn't get activated, if I remember right. He went ahead and activated Yugoslavia. And so we're going to just kind of scroll through his deployment of Yugoslavia here, kind of lining up to the east. Oh, and I should have the diplomacy cup up. The West went and pulled a no event marker. And then the Soviets got a political success. I thought hard about this, about whether I should try to get Romania on my side. But right now it's sort of a neutral buffer to my southern zone. You can't really get there unless he conquers it. So, if I remember right, I went and took one and I put it in Turkey. The thing is, if I can get Turkey activated, whether the Soviets or the West does it, doesn't really matter. You activate Turkey, you get 2 more armies for the Russians. And since I'm army deficient, and the Germans are also army deficient when they do an East Front, they don't have nearly the punch power they have. I figured 2 extra armies could help me slow down the Germans and maybe keep me alive till the West comes in. And there we go to current victory. And now we're just putting our stuff back where it belongs. And we go into February of 1940. Went to the weather phase, 4, 3, and 5, so not very good. On the weather front again, so you went into severe in the cold zone. We are using the latest weather table, so you know, it's right here. I just popped it up. So he got a severe, poor, and a severe. And then he declared war on Denmark. So it became Soviet. And put that over in the Soviet Allied box. And that's just us setting the economies. No strategic warfare yet. Movement. I don't think he had one. West didn't have one, the Soviets didn't have one. And so we're in German operations phase, and I believe he's attacking the Danes there. I should probably center this up a little bit for you. But I'm not doing real well on that centering, am I? And let's zoom in just a bit. Give it a little more dramatic effect. So he started off at 2, and then he's -1 for the weather. We're in combat commitment. And I go ahead and use my Russian ground support. So he puts in airplane, I put in a ground support. So I'm only -1, and he's +2. And he got a 7. I managed to get a 1, so bye-bye Denmark. And then I rolled a 1 for the ground support, so it's coming back, but there won't be any Denmark to use it on here by the time it gets back. And that was all he did. He didn't do anything because of the severe weather in the east. He just said it is not worth spending the points here. I probably would have gone ahead and made the attacks just to see, but he chose not to. The British, of course, do their supply. Soviets didn't do anything. We went right into replacements. Didn't he do his airplane up here? Are we already in the diplomacy phase? Oh no, we're doing replacements now. Okay, I see. I'm getting confused. Losing track of what's going on. So we're now doing the Axis replacements, and he, of course, spends his 3 to get his things here, and he flipped his infantry over in the east. And then got his one in Königsberg down to west. East didn't do anything. There's no upgrades. He built his infantry unit there in Kiel. Help him out. Actually ended up building it where the convoy was. There's no mobilization on my part, and we go on into diplomacy. He pulled a no event. So and the West took a political success and a no event, threw it in the cup, trying to give the Soviets a chance at getting a political success here, I think is what I was thinking. And that's exactly what happened. The Soviets managed to pull a political success, and you can almost guess what I'm going to do. Here we go. The Soviets bring in activate Turkey. Now, I forgot to give myself the Soviet armies. I do that in a little bit. Another couple episodes, I think. As I correct that in between sessions. But there's a whole bunch of Turks there ready to take on the Yugoslavs and whoever else he... end of turn. I don't think there was anything to get last turn. Yeah, the Germans don't get anything now till the end of the year. So it's just going to be some British and Russian things that come in from now on. Yeah, I get my ground support. That's me just playing around. Technically, it's in my mobilization box, but he's just going to move in and conquer it here. So we go to the weather phase of March 1940, and he gets severe poor. He started to declare war on the Netherlands, and I pointed out to him that it would be a West invaded if he attacked into there. And he went, oh, never mind, I'm not going to do that. He didn't want to trigger that this fast. He's got Russia to deal with. So he held off on that for a while. Setting the production. There's no strategic warfare. Not sure if the Axis didn't do a strategic move here. Get this weather out of the way and the faction card out of the way. Did he do a strategic move? I don't think he did. So neither one of us did a strategic move. Then he, in his operations phase, he basically just moves up, captures Copenhagen. I don't have any way of getting a Soviet unit into Aalborg. So he got 2 more willpower, got a pro marker that he throws into the diplomacy cup. Here we go. And then he chose to get rid of my pro marker in Greece, so he didn't have to deal with that. And he picked up another garrison and took the will marker. Now he's up to... Where did it go? So now he has 2 conquered countries there. And we did a movement count where he was at. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to get him back to there. So we let him finish his move. And then he runs the garrison, or the half-strength infantry unit up to take Aalborg, so that he's set up. And then flies his airplane up there, so he's set up for an invasion of Norway whenever it comes. And of course the West doesn't do like anything here. Just supplying their stuff and waiting until they can move units. Soviets, I'm not sure if I did anything with the Soviets this turn. Doesn't look like it. So we'll go through the no supply. The Germans. Oh yeah, he moved his naval unit up there too. So he set his naval unit and his airplanes back. West fixed its fleet. Soviets didn't do anything. Upgrades and mobilization. Axis didn't have anything to build this turn, so we skipped through that. And we're back to the diplomacy phase. So here we are again. Not so good odds here for the Germans. So they spent their 5. And they pulled from the cup and got a political failure. Well, there's only one choice for the political failure, really, for the Russians. So they go ahead and... Oh no, I guess I placed a pro-Soviet in Romania. I don't know why I did that. Then when the West got there, they stuck the political failure and a no event in. And the Soviets... did I do with the Soviets? I think we put a political success. I'm getting lost here. I put a no event. I put 2 no events in, and then the Russians put in a no event and the political failure. So the Germans have the cup kind of stacked against them being able to do anything. I was just trying to hold the status quo, kind of threaten things down the pike, so to speak. And then I think we're now getting, yeah, I'm pulling in the April Russian thing. They got their ground support back. We went to the current weather phase of April 1940. And he got fair. If I remember right, this comes out as, oh no, it's poor in the cold zone and fair and severe. So, lovely thing about Russia, it stays poor until like May, guaranteed on the weather chart. The Axis didn't declare war on anything. Oh no, they declared war on Norway because they had a fair weather turn. That's right, they went after Norway. So it became Soviet. And he does do the proper invasion of Norway where I don't have any choice. He we had to go through the economy phases. Sorry, I hit the back button there. I was just placing my things to remind me he had to conquer all those. And then he activated the 8th Army in Aalborg. Oh no, this is attacks in the east. Okay, he did his attacks in the east first. So, and this is poor weather, so he gets some extra bonuses here. I started off at 0. I think we're doing combat commitment. So we both commit. He threw in an airplane. I threw in tanks marker and my airplane, I believe. So he was +2, -2. So he was at 0 and I was at -2. He got a 5. I got a 1. So I took 2 sorties, but still got through. And then there's 3 for the armor. So he was 3 for the armor, 1 for the infantry is 4, 1 for the airplane is 5, then -1 for the weather, -1 for the city. So he's at net +3, and I should be at a net +2, I think. Yes. He gets an 8, and I got a 3. So that flipped me and had me retreat. And he went ahead and took it with his infantry unit. This infantry unit moved down there, trying to kill the Russian army. So he was currently at +1 to start with. I was at -2 to start with. Then we go to combat commitment. And I needed to try and save that army, so I went whole hog here. We have our airplanes attacking. He ended up with a net 1, so I don't think I even rolled because the best I could get was a 1. We each took a sortie. And now we set the die roll modifiers. So I was a net 0 and he was a +2. He got an 8. I got a 6, so I actually held my ground. I was expecting to have to retreat. And we're in combat commitment again. So both are going to throw an airplane in here. He's at +1, I'm at -2. He rolled a 1. Actually, he was at a 0, +2, -2. He rolled a 1, I rolled a net 4. So he actually took 2 sorties. I won an air battle with Russians. Very rare thing to see. He ended up at a net. He's +3, +1 for the infantry, +1 for the airplane, -1 for the weather, -1 for the wood. So he's +3 net, and I'm +2. Or no, +1. He rolled a 7 and I rolled a 6, modified. So nothing happened there. He moved his NOR unit down there. And then he did the, this is the textbook's invasion of Norway. It's a guaranteed success for the Germans. You are risking your airdrop marker. But if you want to guarantee that you take out Norway, this is a guaranteed way by math. So he put a surface action there, and then he attacked. He's +2 for German, +2 for the surface air, throws in an airplane, +6. I'm starting off at -4. And then he's -1 for the city, -1 for the attacking a unit in an invasion. It doesn't matter. A 5 and the best I can get is a 3, even if I throw a ground support. At -3, the best I can get is a 3. A 5 to a 3 is always a retreat. So I don't think we even rolled the dice for it. It wasn't worth it. And he took his convoy in there, and then he had to go put his guy on the turn track 2 turns out. And they went up another 2 points. So they're at 51. I believe I put... Nope, I haven't done that yet. They get a pro marker in the Diplomacy Cup. He gets another garrison unit. Put the Norway... I think I put the Norway prod here instead of their Wolves marker. And his paradrop's coming back in 4 turns, so I wasn't lucky and got a 6 there. So, and then we go into the Western Ops, and then this becomes very fast for the West. Basically, they supply their dude, and now the Russians, figuring that the Germans are going to be coming because it's, if you look at the turn, it's going to become May. And I'm going to bring up the player aid card to show you why I'm running. It is known that in May, he has at least a 1/3 chance of a fair weather turn. Okay? And then he has either a 1/2 or a 2/3 chance for a fair weather turn in June. So I figured if he was going to attack me, I was going to make him attack me inside the Russian border. So I believe this is where I just ran like all get out. So I moved my airplanes back. I don't know what I was doing there. Well, I guess I decided to try and hold them off for 1 turn. I don't know why I was doing that. It's a very bad idea. Axis goes into the replacements. I think they They fixed their airplanes down here. Fixed their airplane in the north. And they had the points, so they went ahead and fixed their convoy. British did their convoy. Should see the Soviet airplanes get corrected. And, yep. And then we go through upgrades and mobilization. What's going on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's short one, I think. Actually, I think he's short a garrison unit here. 6, 7. He should only have 7. Oh, we've got 2 garrison ones. That's what it is. And then we're to the diplomacy phase again. And this time around, the Axis. We pulled everything out so the Axis could see what the mix was. So they've got a couple pro markers in there now from Denmark and then Norway. So he went ahead and pulled and managed to pull the political failure, which was just amazing. Unfortunately, I can't activate Romania with that because they're not adjacent to... oh, and when he conquered Norway, he took a pro marker out of Romania. So, I think he took a pro marker and put it back in Romania. And we leave that in the holding area. And the British, knowing that there's no minuses out there, I think they're going to go ahead and, yeah, they pull but get a no event. And the Soviets, so they put the political failure and the no event back in there because it seems to be working well for me. And so that's what we do. And just got to cycle through stuff. The end of turn, basically we're just going to get some Soviet things back. And we ended here. So we will be ready to start the May 1940 turn because we thought it might be coming fair weather and we didn't want to get it too late in the night. So we stopped here. So, yeah, the Germans are making their push, trying to push the Russians out of eastern Poland so they can start on the Russian border. The Russians, I took a chance that May's not going to be fair. I was hoping to slow him down. If I get lousy weather in May, then I can back up for June because it's probably going to be fair in June then. So, and he's got more than he needs on the Western Front, I think. If it were me, I probably would have one of these regular infantry backing up the German push over here. But I think he ends up getting him over there anyway. And he does have a guy here that, you know, his job is going to be, this dude's job is going to be just run and capture a port, run and capture a port. He wants to get a port on 3 or 4, one of these two, Trondheim or Bergen, and get an airplane that has to be a Western garrison airplane anyway. That way he'll have at least +1 on the strategic warfare against the Russians when he goes in and does the East invaded. So things are going okay for the Germans. They're not super good, but they're also not super bad, I don't think. He's managed to get a fair amount of things that he has to get. He managed to get Yugoslavia, which will help him in the long run. So, there you have it. This is episode 2. We've gone through 1940 right up to May, so from December of 39 to April of 1940. I'm Dren608. If you like my videos, please subscribe. We will be back with more episodes of this. I will be putting out more episodes of this one than the other series because I'm way behind on this one, so I need to put out, 3 or 4 a week to catch us up to where we sit currently. I believe the next episode will be sort of a hybrid where I'll be explaining what happened. I might have to load 2 different vlogs at that point to show what happened, because if I remember right, I didn't start the vlog early in the turn, and we had an issue there. So I'll show you what I can of it. It may not be as smooth as this vlog. And this is Dren608. Everybody stay safe. Until next time, bye-bye.